So let me just wrap up on my dealings with him. Is I remember after I said, that's it, I'm done. After I got that vision, I tried calling him, and this happened to be, I got this vision, I think literally the morning he had left my apartment, because I was headed to the DMV to look at more apartments so that I can see where I wanted to move. This was like around March, February or March of 2021. And it wasn't until I'm in the car and I'm headed over to the DMV area and I get that vision and I had to pull over to the side so I could catch my breath on what God was showing me, okay, in my vision. And then that's when I was just like, I became a verbal assassin. You know what I'm saying? I tried calling him, he wouldn't pick up. I'm texting him. Mind you, when I called him, I realized that his phone was, I was getting the text me now app. So I said, damn, this dude the whole time had a fake number, text me now. And probably because I never tried to call him, it was just, we used to communicate either on the app, okay, keep it app, or we would text. I never tried to call him. That was the main part of our communication. And I just summed it up as, okay, him being like younger generation, like this is how they communicate. At that time, he was 28. Was he 28? He was either 28 or 29 because his birthday's in November. He was 28 when I met him, so he was 29 because it was in 2021 at this point. But I'm thinking, this is how he communicates. He would send me acronyms. I didn't know what the fuck that meant. I am you. Wait. I am you or I am Y. ILY. I said, what the hell does that mean? I don't even know. And he had to break it down to me. I miss you. I love you. Okay, so at this point, a year and a month in, I love yous were being exchanged. He had texted me on some I love you, and I'm gonna be honest, the only time I said I love you when I was in the act. Y'all, don't judge me. I'm just keeping it real. That's when I said it, you know, and he hit me with the text. You know, acronyms, I love you, I miss you. And I'll be like, that's when I would be like, okay, I love you too. But when I first said it, I was in the act, y'all. I'm not going to even front. Because what I will say is what caught me by surprise is like I genuinely cared for this person. I mean, a year and some change, I'm guessing that like that's bound to happen, right? I genuinely cared about him. I genuinely cared about his welfare. Despite all the bullshit that I allowed, and all the bullshit I entertained, I genuinely cared about him. I wanted to make sure that he was going to be all right, you know? Because I then knew, like, not only am I dealing with a sex addict, not only is this dude an alcoholic, but in the same sense, you know, he doing what he doing in the street. But it was just kind of like, and his hours be fucked up. Like, I genuinely was hoping that he was okay. And I think at the tail end of it, I think he had found a new job, like a city job. But towards the very end, I think it was like in March after I had that text, that was it for me. Like, I didn't communicate with him after that. Because when I said I was done, I'm done. Like, you bringing too much drama on my doorstep. I got to deal with crazy ass motherfucking bitches. I got to deal with people parked outside in front of my apartment. I got to deal with people staging, trying to set me up in the Family Dollar. I got to deal with, you know, people, my mail being taken, because this is when initially the first piece was being taken. I got to deal with young females calling my phone, hanging up, asking for stuff. It's too much. It's just too much. But then on top of that, I got to deal with me giving you money out of the kindness of my heart to help you out to some bitch, and she turn around and using it for spell work against me and you. I got to deal with all that. The dick ain't worth it. The dick ain't worth it. I'm just like, nah. Well, later on that day, I went ahead and I got a text message from under the same number and his number. And it was, I'm pregnant. Why am I not surprised at this point? He texted me back on some shit like, oh, don't worry about it, that was my friend. But at that point, I was gone. So some of the things that I didn't mention that I do want to mention is there was a point where when he was at my house and his phone was going crazy off the hook, and he told me that that was his baby mom's, and then I guess he wasn't responding or answering, or maybe they broke up at some point, and then his brother was calling him because his baby's mom was calling his brother crazy off the hook. Okay, and there was a point where in midst of all of this that I questioned his sexuality. Shit, I think he was questioning his sexuality. And I say that because there were certain things that happened that came up in the conversation. One, he was telling me how his baby mom was trying to set him up with some dude to see if he was gay. He shared with me how one of his homeboys this is when he was comfortable, one of his homeboys who was locked up, one of his best friends, was gay, and he was asking me for advice about how he should handle that because he came out to him. Okay. He had came out to him and confessed some feelings for him. So he was asking me, what should I do? How should I handle that? And then not only that, this dude loved doing anal. Y'all. And don't get me wrong. Fuck it. I did it every now and then with him. This is TMI, but fuck it. I said enough. I've done it before. But in all the times, if you collect all the times I've done it before with my partners, it pales into comparison the amount of times I did it with him the whole year and month we were fucking. I thought maybe he's just in some extra kinky, freaky type shit. And it just didn't dawn on me that this nigga could probably be, I'm not saying gay, because he was, when it came to me, but I'm just saying he was definitely bisexual. But he was just trying to figure himself out. And what really clicked for me was when I heard him on the phone with a dude. Because I heard the dude on the other line. But he was talking like he was talking to a female. So his positioning changed up. And then that's when it clicked to me like, yo, yeah, this nigga bi. Some people will say gay, but I'm like, yeah, he definitely bi. Just based on how I saw him talking to a dude on the other line like he was talking to some chick. And I heard the dude. Y'all. I think another part that confirmed it for me was just like his off-putting nature and him having a visceral reaction to homosexual men. Because one of my best friends happens to be a gay man. And I knew before he came out, that's how he spoke. So that's how I already was put on game that this dude was already dib-dabbling, okay, and or questioning, already dib-dabbling, but also in the same breath questioning his sexuality, y'all. let me just see if I missed anything, y'all. Just bear with me. And then we're going to wrap this up. As if, oh, another surprising thing. Another surprising thing. Before I wrap this up, two things. I did, during that whole span of a year and a month of us messing with each other, I did call two, was it two? No, it was 3 additional psychics, and they pretty much touched on the same thing that the other 2 psychics touched on that I spoke about earlier. And I wanted to give them a shout out because they were definitely they were very important, significant in the process of helping me to put the puzzle pieces together of the fuckery that was going on behind the scenes, y'all. And so the first one, I don't even know if any of them still do tarot on YouTube, but they're still worth the shout out because all of these psychics that I'm about to mention are definitely legit, okay? And so with that, one is, so I said AEL Tarot, the Queen of Wands Tarot, the Tamaj Tarot, she goes by Tamaj Tarot, the Professional High Priestess Tarot, okay? And then the last one was Divine Angelic Guidance. So all of those psychics helped me with information I did not know, and the information that I knew that I was getting from my visions and from my dream state. They helped me put a lot of that together. And so for that, I'm always appreciative, y'all. As if, furthermore, the last part of it is, as if all that shit wasn't crazy enough, what I had explained with the guy that I explained, turns out this dude was my twin flame. Okay. Which explains the catalytic activation, spiritual activations that I was going through at the time. Because prior to him, my gifts were not activated. My gifts, but it was like when I met him and while in the situation I was in with him, they activated, and then next thing you know, a bitch was getting visions, was seeing dream states, and was hearing things. Was hearing things, okay? And turned out he was my twin flame, y'all. So I'm gonna go ahead and stop right here. It was no love story, y'all. He activated the fuck out of me. Okay. He showed me my shadow side, but I'm not gonna get too much into that video. I'll probably go into it in the next video. But until then, I'm out. I'll see you on the other side, y'all.